What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA, and today I want to say thank you because a couple days ago I hit 200,000 subscribers on this channel, which is absolutely amazing. As you can tell, I was originally going to put this on my main channel, but I decided to put it on my second channel for reasons which I will explain in another video. 200,000 people chose to click on that subscribe button. That's like 2 Cowboy stadiums full of people who chose to click subscribe on my stupid channel talking about weird music. So I wanted to say sincerely, genuinely, thank you to everybody who watches, subscribes, comments, even the people who talk shit. I appreciate everybody's attention and support. Like, this really does mean the world to me. Doing this channel and getting it to where it's at has legitimately changed my life in more ways than I could have ever seen coming. And I just really wanted to sincerely thank everybody for being part of it and for helping me get here. And I hope that I can somehow help all of you in some way too. I don't know what that would be. Maybe it's just entertaining you. Maybe I'll tell you something that'd be useful in your life in some way or another. But either way, for everybody who's asked to hear a little bit more about me and why I do the channel, it feels weird to me talking about myself on here because I feel like there's no reason anybody would care, but people ask, so I'll tell you. I started this channel back in September of 2017 and kind of really never had any expectation that it would get this big. I thought if I had 10,000 subscribers and if I just had, a couple thousand people that would regularly watch my videos, that would be an amazing success. And don't get me wrong, that would be an amazing success. I would be happy with 10,000 subscribers. So the fact that I have 200,000 is absolutely insane to me. And it was a little scary because, I'm very old by YouTube standards. I started it when I was 39, which, in the grand scheme of things is not old, but in the context of YouTube is like an ancient old man, like a desiccated mummy.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form.
And so I felt like too old to be on YouTube. I felt like, am I the Steve Buscemi, like, how do you do fellow kids meme? And some of you probably think that's what I am. Maybe I am that, I don't know. But I did it anyway. And the reason why is because, well, for 2 reasons. Number 1, I just kind of wanted to prove to myself and to other people that I'm good at my job because I do marketing, and marketing at the end of the day is about getting people to pay attention and care about what you do. And I thought, like, well, if I'm good at my job, then I should be able to build some kind of audience for myself, right? But all that being said, even though YouTube was new to me, this kind of content is not new to me. I've actually been doing this pretty much like the majority of my life. I started doing fanzines back in the early 90s. If you don't know what a fanzine is, it's this. This is my old zine from like 1999. And I'd already been doing it for years by the time I came out with this one. This one has interviews with Deeds of Flesh, the death metal band, Fall Silent, like old 90s hardcore band, and Downset, another old 90s hardcore band. So I had pictures of graffiti. This was one of the most popular things I ever did. It says the bass player for the Locust has a fucking beehive. But anyway, so I've been making zines like this forever. I started out doing them when I was 14, I think, maybe 15, just out of my bedroom at my parents' house. It was the same thing as what I'm doing now. I talked about bands, I talked about culture, made jokes. It's the same kind of thing I'm doing now, only I did it in this format instead of videos. I also did this for a while. This is how I learned how to make videos. This is a magazine that I did in the mid-2000s, from like 2004 to 2006 or 7, I think. And it's called Flow. You may have seen this back then if you went to any like independent record store or skate shop. It was actually pretty ahead of its time. It came with this print magazine, which you can see here. It was pretty cool. Nicely designed by Justin K., who is a fancy famous designer now, also a 90s hardcore kid. It came with this print magazine. It also had a CD with it and a DVD in it. And the business model is that labels and clothing companies and stuff like that would pay to have their artists on the CD. For example, on this one, we have Finch, Queens of the Stone Age, Rise Against, Dredge. And then we would also produce original video content for the DVD, which is what I did. So for this one, we did a thing about Bam Margera for the release of that DVD. It had like Nigel Houston and some other people in it now who are huge stars. Nigel was like a child then. Did something with Christian Hosoi, the skateboarder, also, which is really cool. He had just gotten out of prison when we did this. And so I did a video kind of about his comeback. Anyhow, so that's how I learned how to make videos. Took me forever, and my videos looking at them now were terrible. But the point is I learned how to make videos. And I had already been writing about bands and stuff like that forever. I had a pretty decent network, so I already kind of knew how to do all these things. And I said, well, if YouTube is where people are paying attention now, then I guess I should try YouTube. And it was really scary and it sucked, and I still hate looking at myself on video, and I still hate the sound of my voice. I still feel like I'm ugly and everything I say is stupid and nobody will care and that I should just go away because I suck. But I keep doing it because, you know, that's the only way to get anywhere. You gotta just feel the fear and apprehension and push through it and do it anyway. I mean, what else can you do? You know, if you listen to that voice inside your head that tells you you're not good enough and that you don't belong here and you shouldn't do it, then it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But trust me, every single time I make a video, I'm looking at myself going, you're so fucking ugly. I hate your face. Your voice sucks. You sound like such a nerd. Every single moment that I'm editing every video, that is what's going through my head. So if you are out there and you feel something along the same lines, like, you're not alone. I think we all kind of feel that way. Unless you're like one of those horrible people, like imagine how awful of a person you would have to be to look at yourself on video and be like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, you look great. You sound so cool. Wouldn't you rather be someone that is full of self-doubt than the person who just fucking loves looking in the mirror? For the first 9 months, like if you look at these analytics here, and I didn't get any views at all really until like August of 2018. So that was 9 months. And during those 9 months, I put out at least one video a week, sometimes 3 or 4 videos a week. A couple other things you guys might find interesting, or maybe not, I don't know. The videos that do the best by far are my genre videos, the what killed the genre videos. I think those are like 7 of the top 10 videos on the channel are those. Now there's a couple things there. Obviously I can't keep doing those forever because I'm gonna run out of genres unless we get into like some super obscure stuff that I don't think anyone's gonna care about. But the easy core video I did has, I don't know, 200,000 views or something now. I didn't think there were 200,000 people in the world that cared about easy core, but I guess there are. So maybe I'm wrong, but in any case, so even though I'm gonna run out of subgenres to do there in the pretty near future, I'm trying to think of like, how can I make genre videos in general? For example, you know, I love Linus Tech Tips. I'm gonna steal from him. He has a video called 10 Ways Mac OS is Just Better, 10 Ways Linux is Just Better, 10 Ways Windows is Just Better. So I think I'm gonna steal that, like 10 reasons why metalcore is just better, 10 reasons why death metal is just better, that kind of thing. The single artist videos do okay, like the how did they get so big videos. Obviously, I had some big ones that like Slipknot was big, Bring the Horizon was big, but a lot of those don't do as well as I thought they would, like My Chemical Romance and Blink-182. Just kind of okay. Maybe I could have done a better job with the title or thumbnail or something else, but in general, the single artist videos really don't do as well as I thought they would. Broadly speaking, it seems like genre-focused videos are what people really respond to more than anything else. Another thing that I'm gonna start trying to do is more like, I guess you would say, music adjacent stuff, because really at the core of it, this channel is about understanding why people like what they like and why they don't like what they don't like. And I talk about that in the context of music, but you know, I've kind of dipped my toe into the waters of some music adjacent things, like I did the MTV one, I've done the pop punk and metalcore fashion videos, done a couple about video games, and those did fairly well. So I think the door is open to that. It's not so much that I want to walk away from music or anything like that. It's just like I have to find some other areas to expand to because I'm going to run out of bands and stuff to talk about eventually. So I need to either find some music adjacent things to talk about or a way to talk about current events, or maybe both. Either way, I literally have to do that or else I will run out of videos to make. Another thing that I tried that kind of didn't really work out the way I thought it would was interviews. The most successful one that I did was with Our Last Night, but I've done a few more. I did one with like Randall from Live Fit Apparel, which I loved. That's one of my favorite things I've ever done. I did one with Big Herc from Fresh Out, the prison YouTube channel. You know, by and large, they just don't really do that well. But that's where the podcast came from. I said, well, how can I keep doing interviews? So I am on, I think, episode number 15 of the podcast now. The podcast has been really cool. We've gotten about 75,000 downloads so far, which I think is pretty good for a new podcast. I've only been doing it for 3 months now. I want to thank everyone on Patreon, by the way, for making that happen. You know, when I say that at the end of every video, that's not bullshit. It's true. It's because of the people on Patreon that is able to hire somebody to edit and produce the show. Her name is Deanna Chapman. She's awesome. She's a total podcast nerd. She makes the whole thing happen. All I do is record the audio, upload it to Google Drive, and she does the rest. You know, in general, I've just been amazed at how supportive everyone has been on Patreon. I felt kind of weird doing that because it's not exactly asking for money, but it kind of sort of is, and that always feels weird. So I've been amazed that there's been as much support as there has been on Patreon. I'm sincerely grateful for that. I don't ever take a single person for granted, whether it's on Patreon or a viewer or a commenter. Like, I will never, ever, ever take it for granted that anybody gives a shit about anything that I have to say. I will always be grateful for that forever. I'm grateful for every single view because I remember how much it sucked when I put stuff out and nobody cared. I mean, I think that's the worst feeling as a creator, is to put your heart and soul into something and release it out into the world and just crickets. Nobody gives a shit. Sucks. I've been there many times in my career, and I'm very grateful for the fact that there's now apparently 200,000 people in the world that give a shit what I have to say. So that blows me away. I'm incredibly grateful for it, and I'll never take it for granted. But anyhow, I've been going on long enough. Again, I just really sincerely wanted to say thank you to everybody who watches, everyone who comments, everyone who follows me on Instagram or LinkedIn or anywhere else. Extra special thanks to everyone who supports on Patreon. I'm sincerely grateful for all of you, for everything that this channel has done for me. It has legitimately changed my life. It's been one of the most important transformational things I've ever done. I'm incredibly grateful for all of this, and I look forward to seeing where this thing takes me and all of us from here. And yeah, I guess I will see you there. So thank you. I will let you go for now, and I will see you next time.